Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Aurora Park. Alright, so this episode we are starting off with, we're starting work on what will be the Main Street area of our park. And this episode is actually a bit shorter than like I would normally like an episode to be. I think it's, right around 13 minutes or so. The reason for that is, so this episode, we're building a Chief Beef and a restroom building. And as I was recording this, I started building a monorail station as well. And as I was recording, I was starting to realize that it would be a really long episode to include, these two buildings plus the monorail station. And I didn't want a super really long episode either. So what I decided to do is actually split them up into separate videos. So in this one we have just these two buildings. It's the Chief Beef and, like I said, the restrooms. And the next episode will be the monorail station. And I did that because I didn't want to partially show the monorail build in this episode and then finish it in the next episode. I wanted to show that from start to finish in its own episode. And that episode will actually probably be longer than this one, just because it's really detailed and did a lot of work on the station building for the monorail. Yeah, so the good news is, since that footage has already been recorded, I should hopefully be able to get that episode out a little bit quicker. I still have to edit the footage and record my commentary, but really building it is what takes the most amount of time. It probably was a couple of hours in total for the monorail station. I think these two buildings took me, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes in total to build, like in real time. And so I just thought it would be I thought it'd be better if the monorail station had its own episode. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. And so since this is going to be the Main Street area, I wanted it to have that Main Street feel that you would get in a theme park, kind of thinking like Disney World, that kind of thing. But I wanted to have that sci-fi theme and vibe, obviously, because the whole park is sci-fi. But I was kind of envisioning it with, the buildings are really compact and there's neon signs and billboards everywhere. I kind of think of it like Blade Runner, if you've seen that movie. I don't know, that's just kind of what I think of when I think of like a futuristic sci-fi city street, kind of that gritty feel. I mean, it's kind of hard to get the gritty feel here, but just in the style and the way that things are compact and there's like cabling and wires and bright neon signs kind of sticking out everywhere. So yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, or that's kind of what I plan to go for with the Main Street area. Of course, as always, if you have any suggestions for the Main Street area, be sure to leave your comments down below. That way, I'll read them and I'll see what I can do to incorporate them into the park. So, but speaking of comments, I thought it would be fun to kind of go through the comments in the last episode and kind of talk about them a little bit. So let's see here. So first we have, I'm probably going to butcher this, Zandup Gaming. I don't know, Xandup, Zandup, but anyway, he says, or they, he, she, they, I don't know, says that, let's see, you should build glass tunnels to all the rides to make make it look more like space and have every ride in a glass box, or build like a force field around them and add spaceships and make it look like an active space station. And that's a pretty cool idea. I was talking, I think I mentioned it in the last episode. One of the areas in the park that I want to have is sort of a dome area. So we'll have like a big dome, and then like on the inside, it'll be more like kind of more like an Earth, like it would look more like Earth. So there'll be like trees and grass and kind of more like your typical theme park, but it's inside of a dome. And then maybe kind of around the main dome, there'll be like some smaller ones, with like shops and, other things like that. The thing with glass though, Planet Coaster doesn't actually have glass in the game. Well, they kind of do. There is one roof piece. It's like a curved roof piece that has glass. And then if you have the Back to the Future DLC, the windshield for the DeLorean is an actual like glass piece that you can use. But there isn't there aren't glass windows or glass walls. There is a little bit of a trick when the Adventure Pack DLC came out a few months back. There are gems or jewels, and they're see-through and they're colorable. And if you color them white, it actually just makes them completely see-through. And then what you can do is if you stack them together just right, it actually you can make like a plane of glass. The only problem with that is it literally takes hundreds and thousands of those little gem pieces to make, a few, like a plane of glass. And if you have many of those in your park, like it would take tens of thousands of those pieces. It would like absolutely destroy the frame rate in your park. So what I may try to do that here and there just to get some like cool glass effects, but I don't think that'll actually make, like I'm making a dome. Like it won't actually be glass. It'll just be like kind of the frame of the dome. So you have to use your imagination a little bit, pretend that there's some glass or whatever. So hopefully, we'll get, when we get to that section of the park, you'll kind of have a better idea of what I'm talking about. What else is there? So let's see. Let Him Come In It, who's a good friend of mine. He's also a content creator. I highly recommend checking out his page. Let's see. He says, so many new things at once. New avatar, new park, new intro. Love them. Thank you, buddy. Also really cool with the winter sci-fi. Got the alien feel right there with the black and yellow hazard tape. Looking forward to this park. Looks like it has a lot of potential with the scenery. Well, thank you, sir, for the kind words. Yeah, I was, I really dig the kind of, I love the sci-fi theme in Planet Coaster. And, I think I talked about this last episode, like I don't think it's been done in the game too much, where you have the sci-fi mixed with the kind of winter Arctic theme. And I think it's a really cool combination that you don't see very often. So I'm glad you're digging it. Hopefully you'll dig it more as episodes come. But let's see. Ryder, he says, if the park is going to look anything like the entrance, it's going to be great. You should make a spaceship hangar with a coaster inside, like an indoor coaster. That is also a good idea. And also thank you for the compliment. I kind of have an idea for like the spaceship hangar. One idea I have for an area of the park is I want to do kind of a rundown sci-fi kind of like vibe, kind like maybe there'll actually be some standard kind of buildings, maybe like brick buildings mixed with some of the sci-fi stuff, and I just kind of want it to look like I don't know, just like real like gritty and run down. And like I kind of think like this is just in my head, hopefully I can make it work, but I kind of think like Fallout. You know, when you see Fallout, there's, you know, it's futuristic, but you know, things are rusted and gritty and run down. So that's an idea I have for the area that I want to work on in the future, and probably doing some sort of like hangar or landing pad like that would look good there. So, you know, be on the lookout for that when it comes around. And then we have, let's see, Browns fan 32. Oh, Browns fan. I'm sorry, buddy. Let's see. He says, well, I always say he. I don't know if it's a he, but anyway, says, love this game and glad to have a new series to watch. Well, I love this game too, and I hope that you enjoy this series and all the future videos to come. So yeah, we're pretty much winding down on this episode. As always, you know, be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, feedback down below. You know, I'll keep reading them, your comments in future videos, and hope you enjoyed this video. And so if you're not subscribed, be sure you hit that subscribe button, and then once you do that, hit the little bell icon, so that way YouTube will send you those nifty notifications whenever I post new videos. But anyway, I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.